Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today is our Daily Color, episode 142. I am doing the page full of encircled flowers. I mistakenly counted 35. I must have been adding an extra row. There's 30. I have 29 sets of pencils, and I might be able to find a 30th set from some of my smaller random sets that I've had for years that I might just do something fun at the end with one of those sets. So I have chosen to do all of the professional pencils together because I want to give myself a feel between the different 7 sets and see if I can choose a favorite between them. I have never even pitted them against each other, and this is a convenient way to do that. The other small thing that I am going to do is I have my white that I like to track how white the white is on black, and I have made marks by any of them that I am missing, and since I'm touching every single set, I will be pulling whites. And today I am going to attempt 10 sets. I have 2 of my Lazy Susans filled, each with 5 sets. And I have pulled from the first 5 sets. Only one of them I have marked as missing a block of white on this black sheet, and I'm going to do this right now. It is the Lightfast white. Can you see that? There we go. Lightfast white. And I am going to put an L, and we will start to color. I expect this to be decent. I have used it a time or two and found it to be pretty nice. It isn't especially dry. You can even hear it. We'll see if we have any other sounds. So there is the Lightfast, and on just this area you're missing, I think you're only seeing 2 or 3. You're not seeing Color, Brute Funer, and Castle Arts Gold, but looking through the camera lens, I am still seeing the Derwent Drawing and the Evazar Artisto that I just did yesterday or the day before, because I just finished the 9 bouquets using those. This is actually a decent white, but I expected it to be a decent white. So that takes care of that task, and we will just jump in. Thank you for visiting my channel today, and welcome back if you are returning. Today the plan is to color 10 these 2 rows here of circles using 7 professional sets, and then the first 3 letter A's of, we are going in alphabetical order when we hit the budget sets. So these 3 are going to be Amazon Basics, Artex, and Arteza. So hopefully, as I go through and pick, I did choose 5 to 7 pencils for each set. The first set is going to be, and I'm going to move this over so you're going to see a little bit of this flower. I want to be coloring with these in the center, not way off to one side or the other. The first one's going to be very basic, and it's the Luminance. I've already colored a couple, used them on at least 2 projects. So the greens are 2 olive greens, a very dark and a mid-tone. I cannot read these numbers, so I'm going to try to you should have written them down. Okay, 225 is the lighter green, and 719 is the darker green. I will be painstakingly putting all of these colors into the description this afternoon when I get them loaded up. When I hit the background, I decided to make the background a dark green, and it's 739. And then the colors of the flowers, very simple, and they're going to be an aqua color, 181, and 729. The only color I see that I missed, and I perhaps when I am done with the 10 will go back, I will grab a yellow for the centers of these, because I see I don't have a center. And I started making sure I picked centers, but later in the choosing of the 10. The reason why I chose to do the professional pencils first is because they sit here by my recliner in an open tote, so they were by far the easiest pencils to get to, because they were just sitting right here. So then after I finished pulling out 7 sets, I then moved down to my craft space and pulled out all of my cased pencil sets, and I have not pulled the Marie's. That one is actually a decorative box that I leave it in, and that is up on my cabinet. So I've taken a picture of all of my sets sitting out. They all don't fit on the table, so I took the Castle Arts, which I have 3 Castle Arts black canvas cases, and those are stacked vertically. So I took a picture of that. I took a picture of the tote. I will put them in the end of the showcase just for fun. I have actually never pulled everything out and seen them all in their glory. And I don't have everything out. I do have some duplicate sets. Some of them live in drawers. Some of them are smaller size sets. I'm now doing the background before I hit the flowers. So yeah, I have some other sets stashed away. And then I have, of course, 16 sets of the Praying 50s for the coloring group to enjoy. Yesterday's group, we colored fruit. Using the computer, I have a big monitor, and I brought up various fruit pieces, and we just, okay, I don't know why we just went dark. I am going to pause now because my screen is doing something funky. All right, I am back. I am glad I noticed that. And we are gonna get the flowers colored. Not yet. I have one little bit that has to be dark. So the Luminance are a pencil that I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit. I hope that will, I'll just zoom into each circle so you can see more closely what I am up to. Oops. All right, so as I was saying, I have little bits of the dark. I didn't overly sharpen pencils for this. I then also, on the Lightfast pencils, had a second green, mountain green specifically. I wonder if this isn't the darkest one. I think I need this darker one, 729. All right, so background and leaves are done. Flowers are 2 colors. I'm going to pause to fix something. I am back. I had to charge my phone. I must not have plugged it in last night. So we're working again on the flowers. I did also pull a yellow. I will give you the number when I get to that part. I have zoomed in very close so you can just focus on these little tiny flowers that I'm coloring. So 181 is the light aqua, 729 is the dark. And let's just power through these. I did not standardize on a scheme. I just kind of picked random. We'll see how it ends up in the end. Again, the Luminance is about $4.80, a little bit less expensive than the Derwent Lightfast. So Caran d'Ache makes this set. There are 100 colors. This is one of my favorite sets. I mostly use the light percent natural tones for animal portraits. So it has been fun being able to use these the darker or the brighter colors in the palette. The one thing I will say, these do actually smear and come off the page. So once you do color in a coloring book with them, the opposite side should be protected. It could be that it's the more vivid colors, because I did a set of mushrooms, and the mushroom color was like burgundy to light pink. They sharpen well. I don't have problems using my electric sharpener with these. They layer up very nicely, blend together. They work really well with Polychromos and Pablos. Those are the other two sets that I will generally use with these, with the percent, the light tans, and the white. Here's the yellow that I pulled, 810. Did not sharpen, but I don't think I will need to sharpen just for this middle. So I'm not going to be going with a bunch of extra colors, but you'll see right here where the aqua, because I did not have a sharp tip, the aqua blended right in with these two. This one the worst, that one the second worst. So when you use these, you have to watch for contamination with between the colors, because they're very, very blendy. Okay, the second set is the Pablo. I have for the sky of the Pablo, and we're going to be coloring that one. The sky is turquoise blue, 171. These I have used recently, and I absolutely loved them. They have a feel to me that is very soft. Hopefully you can hear the silence. The Lightfast are a little bit of a noisy pencil, and these are sort of a silky, buttery hybrid. I believe they are a wax-based. I did sharpen some of these. The Pablos also make a nice long point. They're a fairly small diameter, hexagonal shaped, so they don't feel chunky or hefty in your hand. The paint on them is decent as far as color match goes, and they are not a super slick. I mean, it is a, you know, it's not a matte finish, but not a super shiny, enamel-y feeling finish either. Okay, that takes care of the sky. I do have this orange, and then I'm going to just do very, very soft around the edge. I already have the white done, so I didn't have to pull the white. I just wanted to do the white. Okay, now we're going to do our greens, the white on the black while I'm having everything out, so I can get a full set of all of the whites together on one page. 230 is the lighter green, and dark green 229. It is in the 90s today, another very warm day. I get to go play disc golf. It'll be the first time ever, to my recollection. Well, that's not true. I guess I played with my mom, where we went. She has a disc golf course nearby. That's a pretty good one where she lives, and we have gone and thrown the discs together with her husband. But this time I have met somebody in our community who's played disc golf a little bit, and so she also comes to my coloring group. So after coloring group, we go out and putt. I have a basket in our garage with a net behind it, so you can do some serious putting practice and even practice teeing off, because the net will catch your disc. So we're going to go today. Hopefully it won't be too warm. I think she is native to here, to Jacksonville, where I am not, but I think I will be okay. I'm ready to sweat. Okay, we've got two colors for the flowers. The lighter color, boy, if I can read that, it is called Rose. And I just cannot get that number down. I will put them up. Let's see if I can see it through the phone. It's just so glaring. 381 maybe? 381. I'll say it's that, and then I'll fix it in the description if that is not it. And then purple violet and another number I can't read that might be 100. These are just so challenging. I think that's 100. I will start with my center, going in the kind of little straightish ovals, making sure to soften as I go out toward the outer side of the petal so that it'll blend with the pink. I didn't do any 3-color blends. These are just too small. My hope is that we will get all 30 done in 3 days. I do have an extra day in there, and then that will give us 3 completed pages for this week. Now I'm going to go really dark. Then come in with the rose color. For the most part, I like to have the edges of the petals. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time the edges is where the fading out happens. So I like to leave them the lightest color, sometimes white. So for the first 2 flowers, that is what I have done. I'm very excited to have had a couple of fun days with flowers, which are a comfort item to color, very comfortable with that. And then the next items we get to color are bonsai tree houses, kind of fun and clever, and then some shelves with knickknacks on them, and that I am really looking forward to. All right, that is done. We already had 10 minutes before I had to get my phone charged. Just adding in some shadow lines. All right, the next set we are going to work with, this will be a very different color palette, is the Derwent Drawing. These are my chunky monkeys. I did have to sharpen, sorry, that was my elbow. So we're moving on to this circle. I have flower centers in ochre yellow 3720. I'm trying to see. There you go. That's really long. We're zoomed in quite a bit, so it's a soft yellow. We've got a color called Mars Orange. Ink blue, which is kind of a middle blue, sort of Prussian blue colored. A very soft green called Craig Green 5090. We're going to start with that. So these are a very soft, natural palette. The white is very good. I have extra whites. So I'm probably going to make a hybrid background. Since I'm going to do a hybrid background, I'm going to go ahead and color the leaves this color of green. Okay, so that takes care of that. The other blue I have is called Smoke Blue 3810. And I am just going to commingle this with the Craig Green. I did not have a lot of good choices for background colors. Right, I'm going to grab the orange, Mars Orange 6210. See, I'm barely touching, and just a little swirl is getting plenty of pigment down. It's a very soft, almost, you know, chalk or pastel-like, and how it goes down. Okay. The ink blue, which is the dark blue, I'm going to put over here all these little bellflowers. The yellow, I'm going to double up. This is yellow ochre again, 5720. blending beautifully. So it's my center and the outer part of the petal. I contemplated a reddish tone and thought, nope, I'm going to leave this orange. Now I'm going to take the lighter blue and softly blend out these little bellflowers, and then go back to ink blue and use this as shadows. I think with these little circles, it really lends itself to having you play with really simple backgrounds and the variety of colors you can use. You don't always have to use light blue. You don't always have to use green. And I'm just blending it out softly toward the outside. And now I'm going to grab the light blue to do more blending, and then we're going to call this one done. I do have one more pass with Craig Blue that I'm going to make. All right, moving on, setting this all down. I see on my diagram that the next is my other chunky set, and that is Lightfast. Lightfast is going to be a very dark green for the background. Yep. Mountain green. I had a problem with sharpening this. The core broke off, so I used a very, hopefully you can see that. There we go. I used a manual sharpener, my T-Gal. The other color was already sharpened. Peridot yellow. I've used this recently, so I'm going to take this and do a dark background. The Lightfast I just recently used. I used them for what I know they are good for, and they did a great job. And that was making fur on a bunny rabbit. Layer after layer. I'm going to have to clean that up because I don't have a very sharp point here to work with. These are just little mini vignette flowers. So this feel of this, where the closest to these I think are the Luminance. The Luminance have a more silky, glidey feel. They're a little bit noisy and I can feel a little bit of resistance, where these have a weird, I've already talked about it many times, kind of a sticky feel when you run them back and forth and you go in ovals. It's just a very unique feeling pencil. They are very pigmented, and you can get really fine details if you're very patient with them. And again, they can go layer after layer after layer for days. All right, so that's a pretty good dark green. Now I'm going to do some shadow greens. So I only get, so we're at 20 minutes. I get 35 minutes. Since I am using the same green as the background, I will leave some white so I get a nice contrast between the leaf and the background. So the dark green just implies that there are more leaves in the background. You could do brown to imply dirt or a wall or something, or a fence, or you can do blues. Okay, that's done. And we end up with what I picked. A similar palette to the drawing. This will be a good comparison. So we've got Golden Sun. We only have names. I will be having to post the names unless there's only 5 of them. I made sure to pick not so many. So we've got Dark Orange, Golden Sun, and then Banana. So I will be typing out these names. It's not too many. And I haven't used a lot of like the orange and yellow, but I have used a lot of the greens and browns. The orange and yellow, I noticed when I was doing my little mock-up and some tests to see what colors I would use, trying to pick something different than what I have used recently. These are more buttery, less sticky. I think the sticky is in the formula to get the green, the darker pigments in general, actually. Okay. So there's kind of the two contrasting color palettes. You get a lot more vibrancy. I don't even know how much the Derwent drawing pencils are. I should probably have checked. I would suspect that they are not inexpensive. I don't know if they are as expensive as the Lightfast, which again, as I've said when I was using these, they are the most expensive pencil I own. Short of not knowing exactly what the cost is of their brother, the Derwent drawing. All right. I'm very pleased with the feel of the orange yellows. Just trying to get some shadows in really quickly, and then we will move on. All right, there's that one done. Next, this flower is going to be done with Polychromos. I already have whites of that one on my sheet, so I don't have to do that. I've got actually 2 leaves, and there's like a eucalyptus leaf here, so I picked a eucalyptus-ish color. I've got a light blue background. The light blue is light cobalt turquoise. Hard to read number, but I'm using, see, I've cheated. I've had these numbers on for years. 154. Those are extra sticky Brother labels from a Brother label printer. And I believe these were done, I used shipping tape cut into small sections, and it took me forever. Here's my eucalyptus green, earth green, 172. So yes, it took me forever to get all those numbers on. And even because they traveled, oops, I'm not supposed to do that. That's a different color. Just the round eucalyptus leaves get this eucalyptus-y color. Yeah, it took me forever to painstakingly print out all the labels, keep them all in order. I think I did like 10 at a time. At the time they lived in a case, so it was pretty orderly and easy to do as far as getting the pencils in the right order because they were already in the case. Now it would be much more difficult because they're in bundles by color in a big tote. Okay, the light green is 168. I really like the artwork when the bits of art go outside the circle. I think that's very nicely done when they do that. Okay, now the reason why I did the olive and the light blue sky is because I am doing blue flowers, and I even have a yellow for the center. I'm glad I remembered. Delft blue is this dark blue. It is number 141. Middle blue is light turquoise, 155. So far these, I will say they have like the right silkiness, the right butteriness. So as far as a pleasant pencil to work with, these are probably my favorite of the professional pencils. The color palette is vibrant. They hold a point really well for animal portraits. Okay, lightest color is cobalt turquoise. My white is gone, so I'm gonna have to look at the number here. I believe it is 153. All right, done. Oh, I sent her 109. I am going to have to go to my second Lazy Susan. That is 5 of 10 done. Starting with row 2, I'm going to use the Holbein. These are the set that I only have a limited number. And there's our flower. And the outside color is going to be a very light blue. These, so far, when I've used these, they actually feel a lot like the Lightfast, where when I'm going in circles or back and forth, there's a little bit of a clicky sticking. They're a little bit sticky. And I know some people love them and swear by them, and other people just don't, it doesn't appeal to them. So, did I tell you what number that was? I don't think I did. Horizon Blue 312. Again, shiny gold, hard to read. But at least it's big enough. All right, so these I've got a couple of different colors for the flowers. I'm going to go ahead and use purple first, Wisteria 430, and Violet 441. Okay, I am going to pause now. All right, I'm back. Purple. Oops. Look at that, I just covered all of those lovely little beads. Compared to the blue, the purples actually are a little less sticky. More on the silkier side of things. I do love the vibrancy and how they sharpen. They hold a tip pretty well. I do have to pause. Now this will be interesting because we're really zoomed in. Sneaking under, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I have not done, the only white I have of the Holbeins is the infamous soft white 501, and I have hand carved with an X-Acto blade. That's how I sharpened this. This is supposed to be like a fantastic white, but it goes really fast. You can see how chunky it is to get into the tooth. Very, very interesting. And actually I noticed that I'm gonna do H. So you can see next to its neighbors that it is, on my sheet where I'm looking at, it is even brighter a white than the Castle Arts Gold, which is my current brightest white I have on this page. So more on that later. We will do a review at the very end. I think this will be my last one because I'm at probably overtime now. So I'm not going to quite get my 10 per day. I do have an extra day. I always leave Sunday available. So if I need to, I can film a 7th day, and I think I will go ahead and do that because I would rather enjoy myself and talk about the pencils. So now I'm going to do a burgundy. So we have Bordeaux red for 469 and 448 azalea. I think I already said this, but I own 35 Holbeins. Just want enough to play with them. I'm not sure that they ever need to be on my must-have list. If a good deal ever came up on my, on Mercari or eBay or even the marketplace, it would have to be a very special deal, and the money would have to be burning a hole in my pocket, which does not happen often on a limited income. So I am very happy. I have them in a case that holds up to 50. So for now, I am happy with what I've got. And if I do want to get a few more, I can do that. So then the next color I want to do is something a little different. We'll see. I'm just being spontaneous here. And I forgot to zoom in for you, so you could see me just like that. So this last one is going to be a little bit of a hybrid. Let's see how well this works. I am going to smoosh together. I hear these are smooshable like a Prisma. So I'm going to smoosh this pink with the purple and make a sort of hybrid flower. Yeah, that smooshes very nicely. I did grab 2 greens. Greens today are Forest Green 267, 254 Evergreen. Some of the colors are a little bit different than what I would expect. Oh, did you see that? I only did the center of the one flower. We'll see if I can clean up the little white dots. I will take my electric eraser and see if I can clean those up. I'd like them to stay white. So that finishes up my Holbein flowers circle flower. So I have completed 6 sets of pencils out of the 29 and a random 30th from some of my oddball sets. And I will be doing this for the rest of the week. We'll just get through as many as we can. And I've been talking about how the pencils feel for me. I still think between the ones here, let's get you a little quick view. I did Luminance, Pablo, both were Caran d'Ache. Derwent Drawing, they are going alphabetical by brand and then by product name. Lightfast by Derwent, Polychromos, and the last one I just did here, Holbein. So I hope you enjoyed this, and stick around, come back tomorrow to see another 2 rows of flowers. Maybe I will speed things up. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And we'll do this all again tomorrow.